Hey everybody, no one's watching yet, but I'm going to introduce myself now. Um, Seems like we have some slow connection for some reason, I don't know why. So this is, I'll just wait around to see if anyone joins. First live stream, how about that? Still waiting on that first person. So I might as well just start talking to myself like I usually do in these YouTube videos. So Transformers last night, I've seen it twice so far. Um, I liked it better the second time. Hey, we got 2 viewers now. Welcome to the spoiler chat. Ask questions away. Ooh, we got 4 viewers now. Awesome. So, for those of you just joining, this is my first ever live stream. Hey, how's it going, Goku Black? So we're going to talk about some Transformers. Hey, Jaden, Anthony, cringe thumbnail. You know, it's funny with the thumbnail, they make you, I'm using YouTube Live on my phone, and it like makes you do a screenshot for your thumbnail. I'm gonna change that later, definitely, but I thought it was pretty cringe too. That's all I had to work with. So Transformers the last night. Let's talk about Transformers. Um, it was it was, like I said, it was better the second time around. I don't know what the reason I didn't like it the first time, I figured out, was because of just that second act. And I think I kind of talked about this in my Spoiler Free review, but it didn't catch my attention really. The first half, not the first half, but the first like third of it really caught my attention. Really enjoyed it, and then that's probably Spanish right there, but I like the movie, awesome. But the third act I liked as well, and then I've watched it on some clips on YouTube, but so like I went back and I watched the Optimus Prime versus Bumblebee fight, and I really liked that Optimus Prime versus Bumblebee fight to the point where I think it's actually a little bit too short. And I like how Bumblebee's voice actually is kind of what brings Optimus back. I know it's kind of like a bit of a Martha moment with, I tell you what, Batman versus Superman, that really started a trend. We had a Martha moment in Batman versus Superman, then we had it again in Captain America Civil War, and then we had it now in Transformers. So it's kind of like the second act was okay to me, but don't prefer it. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Perplexus24? So it's like I figured out that it kind of was just lacking Transformers, and I know that we kind of had Cogman throughout this whole movie, and he was kind of the Transformers aspect that kind of stayed around, but he didn't do anything as far as like he didn't act like a Transformer. He was just kind of like a robot that even Crosshair said he was like a C-3PO knockoff, and honestly, that was a joke that was not in the IMAX preview. He said something different. I don't remember what it was, but it was not C-3PO. I thought so. That was like a new joke for me when I watched it. But TFU is canceled. No way, really? What's up? It's 11th Planet, by the way. No way. Seriously, give me more info on that. I'm gonna go look that up right now. Because I can honestly see that happening, really, the way the box office has been. It's been, oh, because I could honestly see that happening. You making me look. Thanks, Max. Yeah, okay. That was gonna be like breaking news on the live stream. Wow. The fight between Optimus Prime and Bumblebee I like the Bumblebee and Optimus Prime fight has to be probably the best part of the movie, I think. It's really comparable to the Decepticons being introduced. I love Nitro Zeus in this movie. It is I'm so upset that he ended up getting killed off. Like, you can kind of say that Bumblebee really didn't actually kill him, but man, I wish Optimus wore his battle mask more often. Yeah, Cogman was definitely the star. Now, see, Optimus with the battle mask, I saw a clip. Make Megatron. Oh yeah, I know that was a great line. That and then say hello to your wife for me. That was like my favorite part of the movie. You're an admin for TF Empire now. Oh Max. Oh man. Okay, where was I? I forgot. Someone catch me up to where I was. Didn't show how Megatron came. Yes, Megatron coming back. Yeah, that was such annoying part. I wanted them to show, like, obviously Quintessa did something, but they needed to show that in the movie. And oh yeah, the mask from Prime. Yes. Okay. So Optimus Prime had his battle mask when Quintessa got killed. Hey Alfonso, how's it going? I don't hate the movie, but it could have been better. Yes, it definitely could have been better. So the battle mask, keep losing track of that. The battle mask was on in one version of the movie when Quintessa was killed, but not in the same part in the U.S. I find that very strange how they would have like one version with the battle mask and one version without. Like, that was very odd to me. And there was a lot of discrepancies between the two different versions of the movie. There was like at least two different versions of the movie. Megatron had some different lines about Quintessa when he took the staff away from Optimus Prime at the end there. That was a big different change there. And I actually liked the international version of that better. That was like Quintessa believed that you couldn't do it or something like that. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so there was like a different scenes there between the two different versions, and they're like, it was Quintessa had some different had said something different when she ended up getting killed. Like, she was said Optimus Prime, no, Nemesis Prime, you traitor. And then she didn't scream, and Bumblebee's line was, I sting like a bee. And then in the U.S. version, it was just sting like a bee and Crosshair's dialogue. Did that change between the two different versions? I don't know. But there was a lot of different discrepancies, especially with Nitro. Zeus had some different lines. And, yeah, the TFU isn't canceled. Max got me with that one. Max, you really got me with that one, because that's something I could literally see happening right now. I mean, like, I know that we would have been getting the Bumblebee movie no matter what, but as far as moving forward the TF6, I really don't like Bumblebee's new ability. It's basically just plot armor. Sorry, that, like, went away. It feels out of place and is never explained. That's another big problem. I wish they would have mentioned something about like that, because with Bumblebee losing his legs in the first movie and then he doesn't he loses body parts in this movie and he can just reattach things. Like, why didn't that happen in Transformers 1? Oh yeah, he's sleeping with your wife. That was the line. Thank you. Maybe they should have the prequel first. Yeah, the prequel, I think they need to do the prequel before TF6, in my opinion. I think that would be something that would be positive. Also, in the Chinese version, you can hear Decepticons say, Drain Unicron, he will be powerless. Yeah, and then I saw that too, and you really don't know who said that, I don't think, because it didn't sound like Barricade, and it didn't sound like Megatron. I only watched that once, though. I'll have to see that again. But it didn't sound like anyone. I don't think it sounded like Nitro Zeus either. X-Men First Class style soft reboot. Yeah, I think that would be interesting. You know, that's something where I feel like they could have gone with Transformers 5. I think they could have done a time travel thing. That would have been kind of cool. Something moving behind you, bro. What's moving behind me? I don't see anything moving behind me. I don't think so. Bumblebee dropping the F-bomb. That was surprising. That was really surprising. Evan Quintessa giving Megatron the new body. Yeah, I just wish they would have showed that. I really wish they would have showed it. Oh, just kidding. Man, you guys are messing with me in this. But let's see. Let's scroll back in the comments a little bit. Sorry, like, my finger's getting in front of the camera. Yeah, Bumblebee dropping the F-bomb. That was weird, because that was not in the IMAX stuff either. The bots had less screen time. Yes, I thought that the bots, even though they had some great personality moments, I didn't think that they had a lot of screen time as far as, because they were at the junkyard for most of the movie, and then they just kind of appeared at the end. They brought Izzy. Izzy was so pointless in this movie. It was like they were like building her up to be like this really important character, and she was just like kind of non-existent. Let's move back. I want to see more of the World War II scene. Yes, I do too. Unicron better spawns like Cyclones and his minions in TF6. Yes, that would be great. Although I don't think Unicron should be used in TF6. I think they should wait. Now, guys, you need to correct me if I'm wrong with this, but I remember it was Day Trader said that there were 7 different signs of the apocalypse, and the talisman was one. So were the other 6 in the movie, or is that kind of like a Marvel Cinematic Universe type thing, and they're just kind of be dropping like Infinity Stone type stuff? So I don't know about that. Is extended World War II scene is extended in the Chinese version. It makes it much better. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I hope that Unicron's kind of like the Thanos of the TFCU, because I hope they don't use him right away. I really don't. Yeah, Alfonso, the F-bomb was a little unnecessary, I feel. It was, like, I kind of wish they didn't add that, honestly. Especially from Bumblebee. That like, I can handle an F-bomb in a Transformers movie, but from Bumblebee, that was a little weird. Let's see, what else do we got in here? I don't know who to blame, Paramount, Bay, or Lorenzo. I don't know either. I think Bay's a little burned out, but I think Lorenzo is kind of weird with like not keeping promises. He's pretty bad with that, actually. I've kind of noticed that recently. He made a lot of promises with Transformers 5 that just kind of didn't happen. What happened to the Seed? Yes. What did happen to the Seed? I mean, like, I know it wasn't really important when you come to think about it, but maybe Optimus could have tried to, like, actually use the Seed when he first met Quintessa, and then it just kind of backfired on him. Like, that just, like, a simple thing like that, just to kind of explain the Seed. Drift. Yes, Drift. I would assume Drift is in the ship at the end of the movie, but he was kind of, like, weirdly absent. I don't know why. That was a little weird. The Seed drifted away when Prime was in cryogenic stasis in space. Yeah, I just wish they would have showed it, but that's definitely something that would have happened. What happened to Grimlock? What happened to the Dinobots as a whole? We saw Grimlock and we saw Slug. And Slug killed a bunch of humans. Like, he just, like, wiped out, like, probably 4 or 5 vehicles full of humans, and they were all pretty much dead. I don't know how they could have survived that. And I know they did have a line on it, which Santos was like, those were my men, but that was kind of huge, like, killing humans like that. I wish they would have touched upon that a little bit more. No main Autobots died. Yeah, no main Autobots died, just Canopy. And, I guess you could maybe argue Drift, but he was probably definitely in the ship, and come to think of it. Like, when I first saw it, I was like, whoa, where's Drift? But the second time, Drift did say he was driving the night ship, so I wish they kind of just would have showed him in the night ship. That would have been a good thing to show. Wheelie is cute. Yeah, Wheelie. I wish Wheelie would have been in there more. Favorite Transformers TV show? That would have to be Transformers Prime. I love Transformers Prime. Not so much Robots in Disguise. Dinobots got less screen time. Definitely less screen time. I wish the Dinobots would have all showed up in the final battle, and they didn't. I thought that was a little strange, because they just would have been more robot carnage, so I don't know why they wouldn't just add them in there, and if it wasn't just for CGI costs, but they should have just done that. I thought Hound would die because of the Megatron cannon. How did he not die from Megatron's? Yes, that was the problem with the editing in this movie, and it just kind of jumped from scene to scene, and, like, you thought, like, oh, Hound's gonna get hurt. Like, Hound's in some trouble. And then it just cuts to something else, and then Hound's fine later. The scenes should have been extended more. Like, the problem with this movie is I want things to happen, like, I wanted to see more. Like, a scene happens, and I want to see more of that scene. That was a big problem. Like, the Decepticons fighting the Autobots, when they in that kind of like deserted town. I want to see more of that. I want to see more one-on-one battles. I want to see Barricade fighting Bumblebee. Mohawk went out like nothing. Bumblebee just shot him, and then he's not really dead, but he was talking and stuff. But he just kind of went out like nothing. And same with Nitro Zeus at the end. Um, how did the little RC car come back after crashing in TF3? Well, he just kind of could have just survived, just kind of like Brains in Age of Extinction. Hopefully we get an extended cut. Yeah, hopefully we do. Um, I'm not sure if we will, because I don't know. If we do, I don't think it'll be 40 minutes. I've been hearing the 40 minutes rumor. I don't think it'll be 40 minutes. If we do get an extended cut, I can imagine 10 minutes tops with a couple of robot scenes. Um, yeah, 40 minutes. I don't think that'll happen. Drift looks younger in this movie. Yeah, Drift's face looks really different, and it kind of caught me off guard when I saw the movie. I was like, whoa, Drift looks kind of weird. Do you think we need a female Transformers movie later in the franchise? Like with a female Autobot, maybe? Or I know we're getting a female lead in the Bumblebee movie. Quintessa, I thought Quintessa was a weak villain. Quintessa, she was kind of reminding me of the Fallen in a way, where it was like a background villain, and she really didn't even have any fighting. Like she went out very quickly. She didn't die though, of course, and she kind of turned into like a pretender, almost at the end. Um, yeah, Bumblebee did say the F bomb. That was when I don't F with you, when he said to Edmund Burton. I thought that was a little weird. Yeah, the Bumblebee movie. I can't wait for that. They should be filming soon. Um, yeah, they did explain that Megatron was working with Quintessa, which now, see, for a fan who's followed this, who has seen the promotional material with Megatron and his, like, the red mark on his face, we can infer that. But I think for general audience, they really kind of needed to explain that a little bit. Just a quick scene of, like, even a flashback of, like, oh, Megatron was with Quintessa and she slapped him too. Just a quick scene that would have solved a lot of problems. Um, the 40-minute extended cut does exist, but its release isn't confirmed. I predict maybe between 15 and 25 minutes. It would be nice. I mean, we know that there are some robot scenes that they didn't use in the movie, like most notably in the first trailer when Bumblebee was charging Optimus Prime, and that didn't show up in the film. We do know that there are some robot scenes that don't make the final cuts of these movies. We saw the dancing scene in Age of Extinction was a notable one. But there were definitely scenes that did not make the movie, because, like, some big scenes. Like, we didn't, like, the submarine, it should have transformed. It was like, oh, it's an Autobot, or, no, it wasn't even an Autobot, it just said it's a Transformer, and we don't know if it had a faction, and they just kind of, it was just like, oh, we're in a Transformer, but it's not transforming, kind of weird. Mirage is alive, I guess, that would be cool. A blooper reel. A blooper reel would be nice for a Transformers movie. We haven't had one since, I think Revenge of the Fallen had one, but we haven't had one since. I love blooper reels. They're really fun. An extended line was when Vivian and Emmett Burton were talking to Cade about Wolfie, something like that. Oh, you mean like in a different international version or something? The last fight. Oh, yeah, that's true. With Quintessa and Tessa. Let's see, what else did I miss here? Drift is similar like Wheelie because they're both former cons. Yes, even though they don't explain Drift being like that in the movie. What is a better sequel? The best sequel, in my opinion, is Dark of the Moon. The Last Night, I would have to say, it's like right around with the Age of Extinction right now. I'd have to see it a few more times. It's hard for me to rank movies initially, but it's toward the bottom of my list, honestly. I want to like it, I really do. Yeah, DOTM Squad. I love Dark of the Moon. Dark of the Moon's a great movie. Let's see, I was missing some stuff up here a little bit. They need to re-release all the previous movies in 4K. Yes, please. That would be amazing, especially the first Transformers movie. Sorry, this camera's kind of shaky right now. I'm doing it on my phone and I'm scrolling. Revenge of the Fallen is my least favorite. Revenge of the Fallen, it was, I thought it was okay when I first saw it, but it grew on me. It actually got a little bit better in my opinion. Like I can really watch Revenge of the Fallen a lot, honestly. Um, let's see. More robot scenes, but bad editing. So for the last night, I like there was just not enough Transformers in the middle of this movie, and I really noticed that the second time around, and I was like, man, this is kind of getting a little boring here, because the first third of the movie, I love it. I really love. I said it earlier in this video, but for any newcomers, the Decepticon intro is. I know it's kind of a rip off of Suicide Squad, but it's so much fun and it's so different from what we've seen in previous Transformers stuff. And just seeing some Decepticons have some personality for once, I'm really disappointed that most of them got killed off because I was like, man, these guys are acting like real beings, like real sentient beings. They were fun. I can't wait to get the Nitro Zeus toy because I'm gonna like deck him out in a gold chain and everything. It's gonna be so awesome. Female Autobots fighting and Decepticons in space and Decepticons having their own movie possibly. Yes, I would love to see the Decepticons. Oh, well, there went my phone. I'm like propping it up. It's propped up right now on a Star Wars The Force Awakens Blu-ray. That's what I'm doing right now. To have like a little tripod. Let's see, where was I? Oh, you don't like my haircut? Well, actually, I just got out of the shower recently. So it's really not in a certain style right now. Actually, let's see. 4K, 60 frames per second live action Transformers battles would literally be the greatest. Yes, I would love 4K. Thoughts on Hot Rod? Hot Rod, I really liked Hot Rod because Hot Rod I did not like in the cartoons, but his gun with his like it was like freezing time and stuff, that was great. And I like how he said my gun will stop the time or something like that each time he used it, so it didn't seem really random and out of place when he used it, and I love that. So it's not like, wait a second, why is everyone frozen? Well, it's because Hot Rod froze the time. So I really loved Hot Rod. That was Where was Cogman after Burton died? That's typical Michael Bay movie. I mean, people just disappear and never to be seen of again. I really wish that in Michael Bay movies we had more of an ending. It's like in all 5 movies, it's the final battle ends, Optimus speech, done. Roll credits. I wish there was a little bit more to kind of like pad the ending a little bit. It seems so rushed. All I wanted was for Sideswipe to make a cameo in The Last Night. I'm disappointed. Yes, that would have been awesome, and I think a cameo would have been awesome from somebody instead of Volleybot. Volleybot was very weird. It was Topfoot or Lead Spin, whichever you want to call him. He was really weird, really out of place. It kind of was like, whoa, what the heck is that? I wish that was... I honestly wish that was one of the twins. I mean, imagine if one of the twins was hanging out with Simmons in Cuba. I don't care if you hated the twins in Revenge of the Fallen. That would have been one heck of an awesome scene, and you all know it because that I would have been cracking up for like 5 minutes during that movie. Let's see. Why does Barricade always run? He's like the new Starscream. I know Barricade he's like a magician. He does a disappearing act. What does Steelbane say after he says the talisman will protect you? I don't remember, actually. We do not need a Cogman movie. Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to go for like a low-budget type film, I could see them doing a Cogman movie, but it wouldn't be the best, I don't think. I mean, it wouldn't be a Transformers movie, really, but I could see them doing a spin-off. Let's see. Cogman crushing Crosshairs is younger. I kind of would have liked to see Berserker. Yeah, we didn't get to see too much of him, really. I mean, I guess that kind of leaves him open for another sequel, honestly. But he was really interesting because he had this love for sucking the flesh of humans, which is like weird and unique. But I love how they said, no, we're not letting him go. Pick another one, Megatron. I lost it when Bumblebee talked. Bumblebee's voice, I thought, was pretty fitting. And if you saw the story on how they ended up coming up with his voice, It was just like some random guy that worked on the sound production team, I think, for all the Transformers movies, and he just did some temp lines, and Michael Bay was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep him. Um, Barricade was so badass, and all he did was run like an idiot. Yeah, I know. Barricade fought more against Bumblebee in the Sonic ad and the Coca-Cola ad than he did in the movie. And that really annoys me. And the fact that they went all into that effort to do them fighting in CGI for an ad and not put that in the movie, that was a little aggravating. Tessa and Shane's baby. What? They don't have a baby. In fact, I hope we never see Shane again. Like, I think Jack Rayner is an awesome actor, and I talked to him on the social media a couple times, but I thought the character of Shane did not fit, and he was not likable. Um, Replacing Vivian with Sam and having the whole movie be a Cade and Sam team up would have had a lot of fun chemistry. Yeah, that would have been cool. I think Barricade pulled a Jared Leto on us. I truly believe an extended cut would improve the film tremendously. It would definitely help. I think there were we had the Autobots were in what was the city's name? It was somewhere in Europe, but all the Autobots were there. We had Crosshairs and Drift and Bumblebee, and they were like racing through a city street, and that wasn't in the movie. And the Autobots weren't in Europe at all until we had the final battle. So I thought that was very strange how they had some filming for some scenes where they were there. They did the same thing with Optimus and Shockwave in a Burger King ad. Well, that's actually a little bit different because they actually just replaced Shockwave they replaced Sentinel Prime with Shockwave. So I believe it was like the same fighting style. Like they just replaced models. The NASA nerd was annoying. I like the NASA nerd. I thought that he was kind of funny. That's not a popular opinion, but I actually kind of liked his character, honestly. I want to see Primus versus Unicron in the last Transformers movie. Honestly, hope they don't go the Primus route with Cybertron. I think they should just have Cybertron be a regular planet. But then again, if you have Unicron, you kind of have to have Primus, so I don't know. Because I was going to say, oh, they didn't do that in Transformers Prime, but Primus was in Transformers Prime. Onslaught was more disappointing than Shockwave. Onslaught was so disappointing because let's think about this here. His alt mode had all those stickers on the back of like humans he's killed and Autobots he's killed, and we barely got to even see his vehicle. Like, what the heck was with that? Starscream. I loved the Starscream's head in there. It was a little weird that his head was fixed. I really want to see Starscream come back. I want to see some Transformers come back from the dead. I know it's kind of like an overused thing, but coming back from the dead. But I want to see it happen. Did you like the aspect ratio? Yes and no. I like that we got to see some expanded images, but I hope for the Blu-ray we have an option to choose from the expanding ratio and just a static ratio, because when I'm watching this on my TV, if I feel like just watching a normal movie, I don't want to have to deal with like, oh, bigger picture and stuff like that. So I hope they give us an option on the Blu-ray. I love how they just completely threw Cybertron being imploded in Transformers 3 out the window. Yeah, that was weird, and it's kind of funny in a way because The Last Knight was very similar in plot to Dark of the Moon with Cybertron coming to Earth. It was practically the same exact thing, and it's just like, okay, we have Cybertron coming to Earth in 3, and then a different plot in 4, and then the same plot in 5. I mean, albeit it was very different, but it was like, wait a second, we just did this, and this time Cybertron is like super small, and it's like when Cybertron got sucked into that wormhole, did that like disappear? Is that why Cybertron is smaller? Why is Cybertron round? Shouldn't it be like a semicircle? It's very strange, and it should have been explained. I don't see Bay coming back for a 6th installment. We don't know who's directing the next one, but I don't think it'll be Bay. I don't think Michael Bay will be coming back. Do you think that Sentinel Prime would be a good antagonist if they make another Transformers movie? Well, he's dead, so I don't see him coming back. His head was on a platter in KSI. Thundercracker and Skywarp, I think they would be great additions. Megatron could take Starscream's head to Quintessa. Yeah, there's definitely some ways to bring back some characters. I think that, but although I don't know the extent of Quintessa's powers, because one of the knights said that Quintessa was the great deceiver. So, was everything Quintessa saying in this movie false, and we're going to find that out in a later movie? Or are they just going to gloss over it and pretend none of that happened and not really explain it? Because I could definitely see that happening as well. But I do hope they explain what was going on with Quintessa in this movie and what happened to the creators from Age of Extinction. Because the creators from Age of Extinction, they just disappeared. Like, nowhere to be seen in the last night. So I was hoping we'd get to see them, but maybe they're the actual creators and Quintessa is the deceiver and she's not a creator. And what happened to the Allspark? The Allspark was supposed to be what created worlds and filled them with life. So is that wrong? And why did Optimus know about the creators in Age of Extinction but not in Transformers 1? It's very confusing. I know like IGN did this like timeline thing that kind of helped out, but is Quintessa a prime? According to her, she said that she's the prime of life, but then again we found out that she was a deceiver, so who knows. Does anyone think Bumblebee is a child? Well, he's kind of like a teenager. Half of Cybertron got destroyed, so if you use physics, then makes sense that the planet got smaller. Yeah, but I wish they would have explained it. It's like Transformers movies just kind of don't explain things. And this one, even with the writer's room, it didn't really explain a lot. There was just so much that was left open. I remember Base said B will act more mature in Dark of the Moon, and he went back to being a kid. Let's see. No, Bumblebee just had a mouth in this movie. Like, he had a mouth. Like, he was cursing a lot, which was surprising. Let's see. What else do we have to talk about here? Galvatron to Megatron wasn't explained. Yes, that was a shame. Remember that deleted scene from the fourth movie? Yeah, we talked about that. Alright, see ya, Alfonso. I was kind of late saying see ya, but see ya. Steelbane was wasted. Who was Steelbane? Was Steelbane the guy in Chicago who was a knight? But I thought there were only 13 knights, so who was this guy? It's very confusing mythology, really is. And it's like, we have the knights, we have the primes. What's their correlation to each other? It's so confusing. It's like so confusing. Bumblebee should end by showing Bumblebee driving into Bobby Bolivia's place. Yes, yes, yes. I've been saying that ever since we heard about the Bumblebee prequel. I want that to happen so bad. Like, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be really mad at Christina Hodson for not writing that in there. That needs to happen. Like, I loved how Rogue One showed it leading right into A New Hope. So if they don't do that with this Transformers movie, with this Bumblebee movie, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. Extremely disappointed. What else? Cogman was hilarious. He is a cool character. He is. He definitely is. I just think he was shown too much. I think that he was featured way too much in this movie, especially during that second part, the second act of the movie. It's like so much, but he was funny. He was really funny. I forgot who was directing this movie. Yes, Michael Bay is the king of not explaining things in his sequels. I love Michael Bay. Love his movies. 13 Hours is a great movie. If you haven't seen 13 Hours, that's a great Michael Bay movie. But no continuity in these movies, even with the writer's room. Like, I can't believe the writer's room did not explain why Galvatron turned back into Megatron. We can definitely infer that it was because of Quintessa, and that was 99% most likely the case, but It wasn't shown in the movie, and that kind of sucks. Can we get a Transformers movie with the Transformers? Why is it always humans? Well, budget. The Fallen wanted to destroy suns, which will ultimately destroy Earth. Wouldn't that kill Unicron, or did the Fallen not know? Good point. Well, see, the thing is the writers didn't tell the Fallen about Unicron yet. Oh man, the more we talk about this, the more it's a little frustrating. Because with the Fallen, that is such a good point. And Optimus, I think, knew about Unicron when Quintessa was talking about him, because Optimus, I think, recognized who Unicron was. So wouldn't we have some... That's really stumps me. Bay expects us to draw our own conclusions and connect the dots when it comes to continuity. Yes, and that is what I can't stand. The TRF guys were annoying. Yeah, and with Lennox this time around, I think Lennox could have been handled a little bit better. He was kind of two-dimensional in this movie. And I know he's kind of been two-dimensional throughout all the movies, even though I think he's a great character. But in this one, they gave him a real shot at being a real three-dimensional character, but he just kind of had a couple lines about how it's like, oh, they're not all bad. But then he goes to, about to shoot Vivian, which I thought was really strange. And then it's like they could have showed more with his internal struggle than what they did. And where is his wife and daughter? We haven't seen them since Transformers 1. That's a little annoying. Let's see. Alright, Cameron's leaving. See you, Cameron. Let's see. Do you think the drift died? I don't think so. Because I think he was in the ship. I think that's the reason. 40-minute extended cut. We touched on this a little bit earlier, but I don't think it's going to be 40 minutes. If we get any kind of extended cut, then it's going to be like 10 minutes or less, honestly. Oh, you liked Hot Rod's voice? Maximus Prime? Awesome. I know. I thought not Optimus. I thought Hot Rod's voice was really good. I liked his little his accent and his joke about not knowing how to correctly pronunciate his voice because his accent was so thick, and Vivian not knowing what he was talking about. In fact, I think that in the IMAX preview, I think it was the same voice as he had in the movie, but in some clips that we had, it was like it wasn't the same voice. So I wonder what that was all about. If there's an extended cut, it'll mostly have humans in it. Yes, definitely. Honestly, that's the way it's going to go. If Megatron succeeded, I don't think it would kill Unicron, because according to Transformers Prime, Earth is a result of debris corrupting around Unicron. Yeah, but it would drain all of the... Well, actually, it would harvest the sun. But then if the sun... I don't know. It's confusing. Alright, see ya, BP4 Gaming. Oh, in the beginning of the first movie, Optimus Prime says in his monologue, unknown planet called Earth. Yes. Now, see, did he say that about the Allspark went to an unknown planet called Earth? Or, I mean, I guess you kind of infer that, saying like, oh, he was talking about in the past it was an unknown planet, but you're kind of right with Optimus saying unknown as in currently, kind of, in a way. Good point. Do you think the cutscene's out because people complained about the length of the last movie being over 2.5 hours? Yes, most definitely. I mean, notice the credits at the end of the movie? The credits went by in like 2.5 minutes, however long Torches is. Because this Torches song played, and that was it. I don't remember the last time I've seen movie credits just kind of like flash like that in a blockbuster movie. I thought that was really strange. And they were definitely timed trying to get rid of that long runtime with those credits. What Without Onslaught, who's going to merge into Bruticus? Yeah, I know. I wish Bruticus was in this movie instead of Infernicus, honestly. What about Ratchet? And nothing to honor Ratchet's memory. Yeah, I really hope Ratchet comes back, honestly. Because Lockdown had a spark. Decepticons had potential, but they were wasted. Yeah, they were really wasted. Like, I hope that Nitro Zeus's popularity amongst the fans will bring him back for Transformers 6. I really hope that happens. Can you please explain to me the reason for Cade being the last knight other than saving Optimus? Okay, let's talk the last knight. So first of all, it's a little weird that the last knight, this movie, is named after a human. I figured that would kind of get some people mad. Hasn't been too much of a talk, though. But Cade was chosen to be kind of like the last... Like I think like the knights were the ones that guarded the line of Witwickens or the line of Merlin, something like that. And Cade ended up protecting Vivian. It's kind of like you're chosen to help, pretty much. It's like, I think this movie would have been better if just Vivian was the last knight, because Cade being the last knight was just trying to find a way to throw Cade into this movie, because Cade really had no business being in this movie, other than the fact that he's kind of helping out the Autobots at this point. But him being the last knight was a little forced, honestly. Yeah, Transformers is not doing well at the box office right now. Definitely. Yeah, and a lot of the characters weren't shown. That's very true. It was to the point where you watch it a second time, and it's like, wow, why couldn't they, if they weren't going to show them a lot in this movie, why wouldn't they just save them and have them not die for the second movie, which is the case with most of the Decepticons, like I've been saying. Was Megatron dead? No, Megatron is not dead. Megatron is still alive. What happened to Cade's sword? I was expecting him to do more with it. Yeah, he just blocked that one blow to Optimus, and then that was it. And then it just kind of disappeared. The baby Dinobots, I think they'll just disappear, honestly. I don't think they'll come back. I think that they were kind of a waste in the movie. They really didn't do anything. Do you think that the Autobots were overpowered? Yes, they are. They really are. Let's see. It sucks the Transformers are side characters in their own movie. Yeah, and that was really shown, like I said, in the second act of this film. They kind of put in Cogman just to say, all right, this is Transformers, but Cogman did not do any headmaster type stuff. Michael Bay said that was cut for budget. I think it was cut because the runtime needed to be cut down. So, will they surprise us with a Cogman Headmaster thing in an extended cut? I don't know. That'd be cool. Disappointed all the money shots were in the trailer. Yeah, that was a big problem. I mean, like, I know there was a lot of marketing and trailers and TV spots with this movie, but a lot of just all the good shots were in the trailer. Like, the whole battle with Infernicus versus Optimus was in TV spots and trailers. And I wish they would have saved Bumblebee, like, reassembling himself for the movie. They didn't need to show that in the trailer, because obviously that didn't bring anyone to the theater, because this is making no money. I heard that Hasbro was going to make toys of characters that didn't get figures from this movie in the Bumblebee movie toy line. Yeah, I did hear something about that. That's definitely a possibility. Who thought Hound was dead when Megatron shot him? I didn't think he was dead, but I thought there were going to be some consequences. But like I said, just the editing in this movie. I don't think we'll get a fully transformed Unicron in Part 6, unless he manages to scan a moon or planet nearby. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see Unicron at all. If we see Unicron at all, it'll be like in Transformers Prime, where he just kind of has these little avatars of himself because if he transforms, then Earth is dead and so is everyone on it. So I'm surprised they went with the Transformers Prime route. Well, actually, I'm somewhat surprised, somewhat not. Maybe the not so good box office will reboot this movie. The VA Man. I don't think so. I think they're gonna at least make it. I think they're gonna make Bumblebee, Transformers 6 or Transformers 7, whatever you want to call it, and Transformers 1. But they could do something kind of like the soft reboot idea, but I think a few people in the stream have mentioned, where we go to the Cybertron prequel, Transformers 1, they do some kind of time thing, and that reboots the movies. I wouldn't mind that. The Yellow Crane Autobot, yeah, he was like split second and he was gone. I wish they would have showed him more. Let's see. Wish we had more Autobots versus Decepticons scenes. Yeah, that was really lacking. The one-on-one battles were really lacking in this movie. We saw, obviously, Optimus versus Bumblebee, but other than that, we really didn't get anything. All the battles were so quick and so the shots were just edited together so quickly that we really didn't know what was going on, especially in that final battle. Oh yeah, can we talk about Burton's room? That makes absolutely no sense. First of all, I have a theory that Sam Witwicky is not dead. Because if he's a Witwiccan and Burton is the last Witwiccan alive, well, obviously not anymore because he's dead now too. Actually, well, now it's Simmons. Simmons is the last Witwiccan. But I don't think Sam is a Witwiccan. I'm going to make a video about this sometime soon, kind of doing this whole like theory around it. But I don't think Sam is dead. I think Sam is still alive. Oh yeah, so Burton's room. Burton's room makes absolutely no sense. Why are there busts of Megatron in his The Last Knight form, and Optimus in his Age of Extinction form, and Bumblebee in his Age of Extinction form, all in Burton's little room of collections? Why is Ironhide a GMC Topkick when he's in the ocean with pirates? Why is Hot Rod a Lamborghini from the early 1900s when he just scanned a Lamborghini 5 minutes ago in the movie? That was really annoying. Why is Ironhide there? Yeah, exactly. That was so weird. And it kind of takes away from the gravity of the first movie. When you see them in the first movie, it's like, oh wow, they're landing on Earth for the first time. It's so majestic and everything. And then it's like, oh, they've been here a really long time. How did they learn how to speak English? In the first movie, they learned English through the World Wide Web. The World Wide Web was invented in 1989. And even then, it was not commonly used whatsoever. So before that, how did the Autobots learn how to speak English? Did they take English speaking lessons? They didn't explore the night ship enough. Yeah, I think, didn't Lorenzo say that they were going to explore the ship a little bit more? That didn't happen. That's disappointing. What else we got going on here? Okay, it's 11th Planet. Are you getting any of the Masterpiece movie toys? I might get Optimus, but that might be the only one. It's expensive. It's so expensive. And plus, these are the Last Knight toys. They're so expensive this time around. I hate Hot Rod's design. I actually kind of liked it. I liked how they kind of like made it a little bit like Bumblebee. I liked his face, honestly. Why did they need Vivian in the end to hold the staff? That didn't even make sense. Yeah. Well, honestly, if you would think about it, a lot of stuff in this movie didn't make sense. And it really doesn't make sense the first time you watch it. The second time you watch it, it's like, okay, I can connect the dots a little bit better. But the first time you watch it, it's like, you know what I wanted to figure out was, did she grabbed the staff, and then did the thing just stop falling, or did it fall into something that made it stop? Because it's like, dang, they should be dead. Like, I know that Hot Rod used his stop the time gun and, like, save them like that, but, like, that was a long fall. I mean, it kind of just stopped falling. I think it hit something, and then it just kind of, but that was not really shown that much either. And out of all the Decepticons Megatron chooses, he gets the least threatening ones like Nitro, Zeus, and Mohawk. Yeah, Mohawk. I love Mohawk. I think he's a character, but he was not that powerful. Nitro Zeus. I think Nitro Zeus is kind of like a good number 2 minion, although of course they killed him off, which sucked. Wish the Transformers had more screen time. Yeah, they really lacked on that in the last night. That was disappointing. What do you think of a full movie like the Cybertron flashbacks with no humans, only Transformers? Well, I can't wait for Transformers 1. I hope that becomes a thing before they end up rebooting this. Or they hope they don't cancel it. I think that after the Bumblebee movie, Transformers 7 will be a remake of the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Predacons Rising movie. Not exactly, but the whole with Unicron being Earth thing, they're taking a lot of inspiration from that. And yeah, with Vivian, I don't know why holding this. See, she held the staff in order to stop. It's like she had to take the staff away from the placeholder. Well, it was just I guess it was just to kind of keep it away from Quintessa. But the problem is if Quintessa had the stick, would it transform into the staff, or would it just stay as the stick? Did Vivian need to touch it in order for it to transform? That's a big question. And if so, then they shouldn't have gone after it. So I don't know about that. Because the Knights were trying to protect the staff from being touched. So it's like Vivian in a way kind of helped Quintessa, if you come to think about it. And poor Skeletron, like he just I don't think he's dead, but he fell pretty far. So is Quintessa the real creator? I thought the Allspark created him. Yeah, that's the problem. They said that she was a deceiver. So I don't think that she is the actual creator. But they don't tell us that. And will they tell us that in the next movie? I sure hope so, because if they don't, that's going to be super confusing. Alright, guys, we're just going to do like about 8 more minutes, and then that'll be it. They keep reusing Decepticon molds. Yes. Nitro Zeus, I'll take that, because technically he was supposed to be saddened by Shockwave's death, according to his bio. Although, we don't really see any evidence of that in the movie. So that's disappointing. But yeah, they keep reusing the models, and it's getting a little annoying at this point. Alright, see you, VA Man. Have a good night. They also didn't explore the origin of the Dinobots. Yes, that's another promise that went unfulfilled by Lorenzo de Bonaventura. We don't know anything about the Dinobots. We barely saw them in the movie. In fact, when we saw the Dinobots, it was just about as much screen time as they got in the trailers and TV spots. Does Stanley Tucci's character from TF4 still exist? Yes, it's just the same actor type thing. It's kind of like how Morshower plays 2 different characters. He was Colonel Sharp in the first movie, and then he went on to play Morshower. Although, in my opinion, in my headcanon, he's the same character. He was Colonel Sharp, and then he changed his name when he started working with Nest. Yeah, the Decepticons do look like a gang. How could the 12 Knights combine into the Dragonstorm if Optimus killed 2 and Steelbane died? Yeah, that's another issue. Don't know. She should be like missing a leg or something. Are you disappointed that we barely see Decepticons? Oh, so disappointed. When I saw them being introduced, Suicide Squad style, I was like, this is going to be an awesome movie. Like, this is going to be super awesome. And then they all die, and then Barricade disappears, and they disappear, all of them disappear throughout most of the movie, and they just kind of show up at the end. It was very disappointing. It was so disappointing. The whole movie was disappointing. It's like I go back and I see certain clips of it, and I'm like, that was a cool clip. That was a cool clip. I love that part of the movie. That's the great part of the movie. But you go and you watch the whole movie, and it just doesn't work as much. Like, I love the Suicide Squad intro. I love the Optimus versus Bumblebee fight. Um, I love most of the fight scenes, but why did they show one of the records? Yes, Volleybot. Who knows? Reuse CGI model that they thought the fans wouldn't care about. Do you think Shockwave and Nitro Zeus are brothers? I'll tell you what, I don't know, but I want to see a Shockwave and Nitro Zeus buddy spin-off film where they're in Russia in the past before Shockwave gets captured, and Nitro Zeus is the annoying little brother. Because I would totally go see that film 5 times because I would love that so much. If Zeus's toy figure got those tattoos, I would pay $100 for it. I tell you what, I am customizing my Nitro Zeus figure when I get it. Wasn't Simmons rich? Why does he look like a hobo living in Cuba? Yeah. Don't know. I mean, like, if he decided to go to Cuba to be with the Transformers because Fidel Castro, I guess, was allowing the Transformers to be in Cuba and roam free. If he decided to move to Cuba because of that, he should have been in a mansion in Cuba. Why is he poor in Cuba? It also makes no sense. And the trend keeps going of nothing makes sense in this movie. Shockwave was in Revenge of the Fallen in the newspaper. Yeah, that was a cool Easter egg. I love that. If Mark Wahlberg does return for the next movie, will Nicola Peltz return? I guess it's a possibility. Mark Wahlberg said he's done. He's not going to be coming back. I mean, I'm open for more Nicola Peltz. Topspin, I miss him. Yeah, Topspin. I wish they would have just used Topspin's head, like have him talk, or have Mirage or Dino or Sideswipe or one of the twins be in Cuba. Shockwave and Nitro, the villains of the Bumblebee movie? Oh, I could see that happening. That's a good idea. In fact, where the explosion in Chernobyl, that happened in the 80s, I think, right? I want to say 86 off the top of my head. I don't know. Don't hold me to that. But that would be cool. How did Vivian know who Soundwave was when she got captured by Hot Rod? Well, according to her, I guess they're famous, Soundwave and Shockwave. I mean, can you imagine? The Transformers have now been in public eye for quite some time. I bet we have Transformers history books at this point. Starscream got half his brains blown out in Dark of the Moon. How is his head still intact? I don't know. Nothing makes sense. The continuity errors are horrible. Like, how did the ship with Merlin's staff get there, and how did Quintessa get on Cybertron if she wasn't in Dark of the Moon? Yeah, it's like, where was Quintessa in Dark of the Moon? Omega Supreme is in the Bumblebee movie? I haven't heard about that one. Actually, I don't know. I don't think Omega Supreme would be in the Bumblebee movie. Because that's a lot of CGI, and I know this is a smaller movie. Alright, final minutes. Get in your questions. Why'd they make Earth Unicron? The writers watched some Transformers Prime. What do you think about the score? Oh yeah, okay, we haven't talked about the score yet. The score was great. I didn't hear it the first time through. I didn't hear it at all. It's like, oh, where was Steve Jablonski's score? Because there was like so much action and sound. But it was really, really good the second time around because I really listened for it. And I love how there were callbacks to previous Transformers movie scores. I thought he did a great job once again. Why would Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox ever return? I hope they do. I really, really hope they do, honestly. Do you think all the Autobots will be in Cybertron for a sequel? Because they did say something without humans in the movie. In the prequel, they will. How many Transformers do you have, let's see, a little less than 30 maybe. I want to see how B loses his voice. I want to see a little bit how Bumblebee's history in World War II. I think that would have been a better idea for a spin-off, because it's like, there's like some hints that he had like some memory loss. Sam is dead. I don't think he is. Who do you prefer? Fortress Maximus or Metroplex? Metroplex. Who do you want to see in the Bumblebee film? Starscream. Will Bumblebee have a new voice actor in the Bumblebee movie? Probably not, because he will probably be using his radio since it's in the past. I really hope Travis Knight does a good job with the Bumblebee movie. I hope he does too. Did anyone else laugh when they saw Sam's pic with his hair messed up? Yeah, that's the exact same photo from the eBay profile. I thought that was cool. Alright, we're going to do one more minute of questions. Bruticus or Infernicus? Definitely Bruticus. I wanted to see Bruticus in this movie. So bad. Alright, we're going on. 45 seconds left. Get your questions in. Man, I've been on an hour. I expect the G1 Galvatron. Then TF4. Yo, you mean like you like the character better? Yeah, the TF4 one's not that great. Alright, we're closing up shop pretty soon. Who's better, Kate or Sam? Sam. Will Isabella Monet return for TF6? I can see that happening. I'm glad they showed full transformations. Me too. Bumblebee as Batman, Optimus as Superman. Yes. Triptychon in TF6. Sure, why not? 4K DVD. Yes, I hope. Stunticons in Part 6. I hope so. Bomb Horse. Good night. Favorite scene in TF5? Decepticon introduction. Springer in TF6. He doesn't really jump out as me as a character. TF5 isn't looking too bad at box office. And it's actually looking pretty bad. It really is. Okay. So that just about does it. Thank you guys for sticking around for an hour. I think some of you stayed around for the whole hour, so thanks for that. Yeah, it's about 430 million worldwide right now. It's not so great. I think it's gonna make less than Transformers 1 the way it keeps going. Alright, we'll look at one more question. Alright, bye Mr. Whiskers. This is a big question. And you don't even know Sam is dead. No, I don't think Sam is dead, and I have a theory why Sam is dead. I'll talk about that in another video. Alright. Thanks, guys, for sticking around. See you all for my spoiler talk video, and that will be coming out in multiple parts, so make sure to check that out. Hashtag TF95, yes, I will be doing that video soon as well. Thanks for the reminder. Superior, hey, you just got here. I'm sorry, man. I will be doing another live stream, I think, because this, I think, was a pretty good success. Alright, guys, so, thanks once again, and I'll see y'all next time.